God, you're father, man.
So hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I have something new for you guys. So this video is primarily for people who are returning to the game and for people who are making their new way into the game. So I have for you guys 3 builds that you must and should start off with when running the Division 2. Now this is primarily for new players. So let's get on with it. So we got the specializations that most people use on this game. It's Gunner, Technician, and Firewall. Depending on which build you're running, you guys will determine whether or not you want to make a sacrifice depending on the build. So for primarily DPS builds, if you guys want to stay alive after popping a kit, you get 200% armor for 10 seconds. And that's actually insane because it gives you a variety to move and move out the way. So we have Sharpshooter and Survivalist. Now, Survivalist is primarily good for a healer type build. If you are primarily healing for your team, then this is amazing to use. Now, as you guys can see, this specialization also offers different variety of stings. You get a Seeker Mine and stuff. So yeah, guys. So let's move on to the first build that you must use when starting off in the Division 2. So it's with Vigilance and Glass Cannon. You want to get at least 150-60% crit damage in total on all your pieces. You have 60% chance on this build, as I will show you guys later. So this is the build. You guys want to stack as much crit as possible on this build. Now, you guys can run this in any other way. You don't need to use Providence, but Glass Cannon is by far one of the best damage talents that you can use for damage, and Glass Cannon and Vigilance, when getting back yourself into the game or into DZ, whatever you guys like to play, Glass Cannon is amazing to use for PvE content. So it also lets you deal out a good amount of damage if you guys are farming or wanting to do something else. Besides that, Glass Cannon is the build that I would recommend running if you want pure damage. Now, I'm going to talk about the brand set pieces for a moment. So like I said earlier, you don't need to run the Providence. You guys can run any other pieces. So we have 60% chance and 171 crit damage on this build. So you guys primarily also want to run the Foxplayer knee pads for that multiplicative damage. The multiplicative damage adds a bonus, and that pretty much lets you hit hard like a truck. So usually you would run Contractor's gloves on this build, but yeah, guys. So let's go down to the shooting range and let me show you guys what the damage numbers are. So let's set this to Heroic. Elite, named, there you go. Set it to 10 meters, sorry. Let's set it to 10 meters. So 575 base crit. So now I'm going to show you guys how fast glass really kills. So let's set this to 5 meters now. In the head, look at that. We're shooting for 8 million in total damage. Now, for a crit, we're hitting for 788k. Now, that's amazing, guys. You guys can use any other gun as well. You don't even really need to use. If you guys want more damage, I would recommend the FAL with Flatline on it, just to get some more damage. 758. So you are hitting harder with the FAL. And to the head, we're hitting for about 1 million, guys. 1 million to the head. So yeah, guys, that's the first build that I recommend you guys farming the pieces for. So let's move on to the next one. So guys, welcome back to another build. So for this one is a build that I recommend for new players and coming back players as well. So for this build, we are running the Survivalist specialization. The reason for that is because we want that 15% increase ongoing healing. So let's get on with the build now. So this is a healer build. Now, if you are in fact new to the game and just finished the expansion, Warlords of New York, I would recommend going into Countdown and farming for a healer build. A healer build will give you pretty much survivability to yourself and to your teammates. And since you are new into the game, you won't really have DPS pieces yet. So this is why a healer build is honestly one of the best builds you guys can start off by making. We are running the Future Initiative brand set. That is the brand set that you want for a healer build. And it's the most common brand set that people use. So let's move on. So for the chest piece, you guys can either run a Future Chest or Empathic Resolve, which is going to give you a team extra damage. Now, you guys also can use the Technician Specialization for an extra skill tier if you decide to put weapon damage on this build. But yeah, guys. So for the guns, it doesn't really matter. I took a shotgun, for example, with Reformation. Headshot grants 30% skill repair for 15 seconds. Now, you want to put skill repair on all of your pieces, so you can get the best ongoing healing to yourself and to your players. That is very important when you're running a healer. That's why I recommend everyone, when running a healer, try to, not stick in close to your players. Just try to stay back depending on who you fight in the dark zone. And if you guys are really good at strafing, being on a healer and strafing is really deadly. So for the gloves, BTSU gloves are best in slot for a healer build. It is a must. Now you can always run a RNK holster or backpack, whatever you want, with repair skills and skill haste. But the BTSU gloves for a healer build is a must. It's absolutely beast for a healer build. That's why when you see most healer builds in Dark Zone, you probably see the BTSU gloves on every build. There's not really much I could honestly say about this, but it pretty much just gives you overcharge on heals. It makes your heals last longer, and you get your chems back quick as possible. So that's pretty much the build. Now let's go to the thing. Let's go to the shooting range. There we go. I actually forgot to show you guys the skills. I'm sorry. So for the skills, of course, the chem launcher. Now, the chem reinforcer, I should say. Sorry. I got the chem reinforcer. Now, you guys want to use that. The Mender Seeker Mine, you guys can use that as well. But the Mender Seeker Mine really doesn't give that much healing as it would from a chem shot or a hive. So that's why a hive or a chem shot is what I recommend when it comes to healing. So let me show you guys the heals now. Let's get that. Let's drop our heals. There you go. Heals are great. So now let's put 5 meters. Shoot that. So Reformation will not show when you're in the shooting range, but it does in fact work, because I went back all the way. So now let's take our armor off. Let's show you guys one more time what the chem launcher does. That was the hive that I was healing with before. So now this is with the hive again. And look at those heals, yo. You cannot stop these heals. These heals are amazing. And like I said in the earlier, if you are good at strafing with heals, you guys will be unstoppable in Dark Zone, 100%. So now let's show you guys the overcharge on this. Boom. Look how fast we're getting that back. So now let's drop that. There you go. We still have overcharge. And now look at that. Oh, we're like invisible. We cannot die now since we have overcharge. And boom. That's basically the healer build, guys. So let me guys show you one more time. Let me show you guys one more time. If you guys can see that thing on the bottom, I popped a kit for myself and also for my team. So that's why Survivalist is great for a healer build. So that's basically the healer build and pretty much a build that you should start off with. Alright guys, so the last and final build, as you guys probably may know, is Heartbreaker. So we are running Technician Specialization for this build. The reason why we're running Technician Specialization is because of the Link Laser Pointer. So Heartbreaker is primarily a build that you need to pulse with. Without pulse, you guys will not get what you need to desire from the set. So this set is primarily to survive. And not to mention, this is the best farming build you guys can use in the Division 2. And not to mention, the gear set itself comes with armor on the core. So you need to just get pieces with crit chance, guys. With crit chance. Now, since most of people that start the game are not going to have the Catharsis right away, I would recommend, honestly, just putting a Grupo mask to get some liquid damage out when you have the chance. But if you are, just returning and actually, in fact, do have the exotics, you guys can use that as well. You get more damage out of that. So for the chest piece, we're using the chest piece to get the max stacks from 50 to 100. That's going to give us more bonus armor, and it'll make us hit harder. Now, to increase your damage, you guys can use the Busy Little Bee exotic as well. Now, exotics are honestly not that hard to get now because they added Countdown. Countdown gives you points. Those points you can use to redeem exotics, so it's quite honestly not that hard to get exotics now, guys. So you gotta get every piece with chance on there. And yeah, this is our chance and this is our crit damage. But we have an extra 30% and then an extra 10. So we have a total of 40% weapon damage on this build. So now let's go inside to the shooting range again and show you guys what I'm talking about. There we go, we're in the shooting range. Let's put this on named. There you go. Alright, here we go. Let's stack up the bonus armor. Look at that, guys. Look at that bonus armor. That bonus armor is insane, guys. There you go. Now we're going to reload that and swap. So we're only hitting for 420k. But when we get stacks from Busy Little Bee, also our Catharsis mask, we will hit harder than ever. So now let's get our Catharsis stack. There you go. Let's get it up again a little. There you go. So let's do this. We're actually going to press start. Take off the chest piece and put the chest piece back on so it resets. And now let's do it, guys. So look at that, guys. Look at that bonus armor. Since we have stacks now, we are going to hit harder. 502k. So guys, the Catharsis mask is what's going to give you that 500k crit on this build. And we're shooting for 715k. So now let's stack up the Busy Little Bee. Let's stack up the Busy Little Bee here. And we're shooting for fucking 1 million to the body, guys. 1.8 million into the body. And then we're losing the stacks from Busy Little Bee and we drop down to 502 again. So the Busy Little Bee and the Catharsis will increase your damage on the build. So yeah, guys, that's basically the video that I have for you guys today. Stay tuned for more build videos and tutorials on the way, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you guys took something from this video, and I hope to see new players in the DZ and in PvE. So yeah, guys, with that being said, Acceptor out.